Hi again. So we'll start with Scotland tonight with head coach Gregor Townsend and captain Jamie Ritchie. First question, please. Juste ici.
What went wrong?
What went wrong? Well, conceded a lot of points in the first half, which made it very difficult to win the game. I think the early try wasn't really a factor, because for the next 15-20 minutes we put some good rugby together, but we didn't have any points on the board. But the tries before half time, which we'll obviously look at and go, we could have defended better, but I've got to give credit to Ireland. They executed very well and the game went away from us. In the second half, I was really proud of the effort, the display, the intent to not let the score become a bigger one and actually come back and show who we were in attack.
Next question, please. Merci.
Gregor, were you disappointed Finn didn't go for the posts in those 3 opportunities in the first half?
No. I think if you saw the scoreline, 3 points wouldn't have helped us. So we just needed to convert when we had the opportunities of line out. I think we got close to the try line a couple of occasions and we didn't turn that pressure into 5 or 7 points, and we would have needed 5 or 7 points the way Ireland were playing.
Hi, Gregor, you've congratulated Ireland. Did you get anything from Ireland there that you weren't anticipating?
No, they were just very good. I thought they defended really well. At times we were getting half breaks, making some meters, and with a lot of pressure, went through a lot of phases, and they kept their shape. And in that first quarter in particular, in the second half, we did manage to get in behind their defence. But I thought look, they started really well. Scoring a try in the first couple of minutes, and then it was a proper test match in terms of both teams having opportunities for 20 minutes, and then they took theirs, and they're very clinical at taking them. They're the best in the world for a reason. Probably the thing that stands out from an attacking perspective is when you give them entries into the 22, they're very good at coming away with points, and they showed that again tonight.
Juste dedans, merci.
One for Jamie. Gregor said there that he's praised the players for the effort and determination shown. How disappointing is it that there's nothing beyond that in terms of technical stuff and what you wanted to be out there tonight?
It was probably more the conversions that the conversion of our opportunity that we were disappointed with the most. Like, I can't fault the effort of the boys either. I thought we played pretty well. Like I say, we created opportunity, we just didn't take them. So we need to be better at that, and I give full credit to Ireland as well. They were the better team.
Oui, juste devant ici. Merci.
Gregor, does this feel like a wake-up call about where Scottish rugby is compared to the really top teams on the big days?
Well, yeah, obviously it's a very disappointing result that we've gone out the World Cup playing the number 1 team in the world, and they were well ahead at half time, but we played the number 2 team in the world in their opening game, and it was a close game. We've played France, who are the favourites for the World Cup. So no, I think in isolation it's a really disappointing defeat against a very good side that we believed that we had the ability to beat. But they were the better team tonight. They were excellent, probably the best I've seen them play. So yeah, it's probably where we are and where they are in terms of their rankings, and why they're, I'd imagine now, the favourites for the World Cup, but certainly one of the 2 favourites.
Juste.
Gregor, this is 3 times in the last 4 World Cups that we've not got out the group, and tonight feels very similar to 4 years ago when we lost to Ireland. Does something have to change fundamentally in our game, whether it be personnel at coaching and playing levels, but also structures as well? Because it just seems like we keep repeating things that's not working.
Okay. Yeah, we've gone out to the World Cup. I think you've got to look at each World Cup differently. We were drawn with the number 1 and number 2 team in the world at the start of this World Cup, and we lost to them both. We've never beaten a team ranked above us in any World Cup we've played in. So you may have to go all the way back to 1987 to ask, can we do better? And we certainly have to do better. And the responsibility is mine. We believed that we could get out of this pool. We still believe that after losing to South Africa, and the response the players showed in training and the 2 games we played gave us an opportunity tonight, which we didn't take. Ireland took. And they're a better team than us on tonight's performance. And I think that's the 17th win in a row. So they're clearly been a better team over the last couple of years. Now, if we can get on the journey they've been on over the last few years, then great. But it's easy saying that. It's another thing doing it. But you become a better team for defeats as well as victories. And we've got to make sure that this defeat makes us a better team for the Six Nations that come up and also for the next World Cup. But I think the Six Nations is much more relevant than the next World Cup.
Next. Wait.
Hi, Gregor. You see the waves of players coming through the system in Ireland, France, or maybe other countries as well. We don't seem to be getting that in Scotland. If you're looking over the next World Cup cycle, are you really concerned or concerned at all that you will be losing some players in terms of retirements, but there's very little coming through?
At a young level, that's right. But I'd say this World Cup has shown that we've got really good depth in the top 30. We've got 33 players here, and we had 12 changes, I think, between our last 2 games. So the players in this group and just outside this group are test quality. But we have to get more players through. The way Irish rugby is set up, they could dominate world rugby for the next 5-10 years. Because they're number 1 team in the world, and they've got a pro rugby system that is very strong, and they've got an age group system that's very strong. So that should continue for them. We've got to do better. This group of players have got to 5th in the world, which is the best we've ever been in terms of the Scotland national team. But we know we have to make sure that continues, not for the next couple of years, but for the next 10 years.
Next, please. Yes. Yes.
Jamie, you went off quite early. What was the injury and what happened?
It happened pretty early on in the game. Just got a shoulder on shoulder and was pretty sore. Tried to play on and just felt like I wouldn't be helping the team if I continued to play on and not able to do certain things like lifting in the line and things like that. So came off. It's just a shoulder.
Mic, please. Can you use the mic, please? Même personne.
No,
Merci.
it wasn't.
It's just for translation. Thank you. Okay, last 2 questions, please. Or, yeah.
I will try in English. You are the last team which beat the French team. According to you, what is the progression of the French team in this World Cup? And the French team can be win. You tell about Ireland is favorite of the World Cup. Maybe the other favorite is France, according to you?
Maybe. I think those quarterfinals are going to be very difficult to predict because New Zealand are playing outstanding rugby. South Africa had opportunities to beat Ireland, and Ireland just held on at the end of the game to beat them, so they're not far away. We're number 2 team in the world, and obviously France are are on great form. With their display last night. So the 4 strongest teams, I believe, the 4 teams that are ranked in the top 4 in the world are all going to play each other. So it's very hard to predict. If Ireland play like that, they'll be difficult to beat. But I've been very impressed with New Zealand, South Africa and France over the last couple of weeks too.
One last question.
I can just confirm the other injuries looked like Blair Kinghorn was that a concussion, and Darcy, and anyone else?
Yeah, Blair, I think hit someone's knee accidentally. So he got, I think it was independent. Doctor had noticed that, so he failed his HIA and still has symptoms. So it was the right thing that that was spotted and he was removed from the field. Darcy had a hip flexor that was causing him a bit of trouble. Felt he couldn't run at top speed, so he came off. I believe everybody else is okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.